Here are some general rules when designing your banner. Never make your images on your banner too big. Because of responsive design, the website will try to crop some of your picture, which will automatically make your image slightly bigger once it's on a website. The way to get around that is to alter your design settings if you're using Squarespace to the exact size of your banner. So when you're working on Canva, make sure that the sizes that we put, I think it's 1350. I'm going to show you what that looks like, so just keep watching. The next rule is when adding text to your banner, sometimes it'll look nice on Canva, but when you upload it to your website, it can become blurry and in some cases much bigger than you anticipated. So for me, I like to design my banner without words first and then add the text later. Another tip that I'm going to play with in this video is using my images as a way to direct the eye of the viewer. So for example, when you have an image facing the direction of the text that you'll be adding to your banner, it naturally makes the viewer move their eye in that direction. It's a way to get the viewer to look in the direction to get the information that you want them to get. The last rule is you have to be okay with adjusting your design if it doesn't fit. It can be frustrating to put in work in a design only to have to scale the image down or up. However, this is part of the process and it's totally okay. You'll see me doing this a lot in this video, and I intentionally kept all of it so that you guys can see an actual process of what it looks like, and I'm not just showing you the pretty parts, I'm showing you when I'm going back and adjusting some things because it's not working. So I again don't want you guys to think that everything happens right for me the first time. But I want to show you what that actually looks like so you can get a good idea of how it might look like for you. I'm assuming you guys have already uploaded your images to Canva. If not, this is the time to do so. If you learn best by watching and then doing, feel free to watch me first and then try it on your own. If you're someone that learns best by watching and doing at the same time, then do it with me and just make sure to pause the video so that you're doing exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And don't worry, I will have a finished document on Canva that's going to be shared. It's going to serve as a template for you to use, but again, the only way to learn is to do it with me. So the first banner that I'm going to show you guys is called Playing with Opacity. Starting on Canva, we're going to create our banner. You guys should already have pulled this up, but I'm just showing what it would look like again, so you can put in the search bar website, or you can make a custom dimension with the sizes 1350 by 650. This is what your screen should look like at this point. And once you get the images you want, just press upload and they'll all go in that spot at the same time. So, using my favorite tool on Canva under effects, I am erasing the background. This is the image that I've chosen. You should have access to this image as well, so make sure you download it if you haven't done so yet. What I like to do with all of my banners is design them the way that I like them. And I do that so I can kind of get a basis to where I need to start. Because before, like I mentioned, there are some times where you might have to scale up your image or scale down your image. If you design it the regular way, just kind of like how you want to without any limitations, and then upload it to Squarespace, you'll have a better idea of what you're looking for and how your image needs to look. I'm playing around with the transparency because, like I said, this is a classic way that a lot of hair companies do design some of their banners, so I wanted to make sure I showed you this as well. I'm also going to show you some variations of this same image, so keep on watching. But this is pretty simple yet so beautiful. the key to opacity and finding images that look well. Jumping a little bit in this video because, you know, as I'm working, I get into the zone. I don't really like limit myself, so I wanted you guys to just see the process from start to finish. So I'm jumping from Canva, designing my banner, and then actually uploading everything to Squarespace. So you saw the banners that I use on Squarespace. I just picked one that I like to use. I have quite a few that I like to use on Squarespace as far as our templates, but I did pick this one. So I just wanted to go through everything with you. So this is the template that I use. I've already forgotten the name because Squarespace has done a little bit of updating since the last time I've been up here. But I'm showing you the design settings that I have everything on. And because this was my first time using Squarespace since they updated everything, I actually was going through it. This was my first time using it since it updated. So I'm actually finding where things are. They're the same things, they're just in different places. So I'm basically looking for them. So if you see me pausing at certain parts, it's because I'm looking for the things that I normally know are in one place and I'm finding out they're in a different place. So please bear with me. But I finally found where you can adjust the size. So I'm moving the slider left to right to show that you can adjust it that way, or you can just double click and put in this specific image. I put in 1350 because that's the size of my current banner. And so that's the size that I'm going to use here on Squarespace. So now that both sizes are matching on Canva and on Squarespace, I'm going to upload my image. So again, I'm still looking around trying to figure out where everything is, because if you were on the old Squarespace before the updates, it looks completely different. But I like it. I like it a lot. Then realized I didn't download my image on Canva, so it's not showing up in my download folders. So what I'm doing is going to Squarespace and uploading the image from there, and I'll find it in my downloads folder. And once our image is there, I noticed that there is a little bit of opacity on this image. It kind of has like a pinkish salmon type color going on it. That's not what I'm looking for. So I ended up changing the opacity so that there wasn't any type of layer creating any additional tints or shades to my image. And I'm also changing the color of the font so you can see it a little bit better. And it's already looking beautiful. And there you have it. So I'm just going back and forth and looking at my image. One thing to note is that when you are designing your banners, I would say make sure that it looks great on all devices. I pay close attention to my desktop view, which is the view that you're seeing right now, and my mobile view, because most people are on your website from their phone. So yes, you want to have a beautiful desktop view for your website, but you also want to make sure that your mobile view matches as well, and it's just as nice. So I'm going to show you what that looks like on mobile view. So I'm making a little bit of a jump to the text. I am going to put my own text here and show you how I upload custom looking text to my banner as well. Because if you notice, there aren't a lot of options as far as fonts that you can choose and the style of the fonts using Squarespace. So a lot of the times I use Canva or Photoshop to create really cool looking text that I can put on top of my banner. But here I'm just playing with what I have just to see how everything looks. I decided that I wanted to use the Shop Now, Pay Later, and I'm going to create my own font with that a little bit later. So I did another jump, and I'm looking from desktop view to mobile view. So I'm going to edit it so that it can look a lot better on mobile view. So the only thing that you need to do is to move that little circle as you see the mouse moving to the girl. You're going to move that circle. It doesn't do anything on the desktop view, but when you go back to mobile view, you'll see that the focus of the image is where I placed that circle. So the circle is on the girl, and you're going to notice that when I go back to mobile view, it's going to be more so on the girl than it was before. And here we have it. So just moving that circle changed where my mobile view and how it looks. So you won't see much of a change on desktop, but you want to make sure that you are paying attention to what it looks like on mobile as well. So that looks great. And I will say a key to just your banners always looking amazing is just having high quality images and finding high quality photos. Okay, so going back to the text. Am I going back to the text? Let's see. No, I'm not. You can adjust the size of the banners that you have. So it's a little bit more larger scale, taking up more space. It can be more medium, large, and you can also scale it to a custom size. Now that I've got the banner and the text the way that I like it, I'm looking back at the colors that I chose from colors.co, and I'm trying to include more of my theme and my style and the colors that I chose before. So now I'm just making it look a little bit more on brand. Now I'm going to start messing around with the text. So I like the text that Squarespace already had, but I didn't like the style of the text, and I wanted to incorporate some of the text that I found earlier on dafont.com and 1001fonts.com. So I'm actually uploading the fonts to Canva. This is how you do it. I'm layering some of my fonts and giving it more dimension so it looks a lot more complex than it really is. And I'm making sure to save page 2 only and making it a transparent image. So a transparent image will make sure that that white block isn't around. Now that I have a basic idea of what I want, I'm going to see if I can insert it on top of my banner. I finally found the little teardrop icon, which is what I was looking to insert the image that I just saved on Canva and adjust the size and see what it looks like. So I didn't like the space that was between shop now and pay later. Okay, I'm going to keep everything. I'm going to put shop now, pay later, and then I'm going to use my 2 font choices. This is Roadway, I think's the name, and I didn't like it. I thought I liked it, but I don't like it with this combination. So I ended up choosing a font called Wilk, W-I-L-K. And that was the final font choice that I picked. I thought it worked well with the 2 fonts. So now I'm just adjusting it to see how I like it. There wasn't any rhyme or reason for why I decided to, put the shop now over the T and style it the way that I did. It just looked the best in my opinion, so that's what I ended up choosing. So once I'm satisfied with what I have, I'm going to make sure I click transparent background, making sure that it's also a PNG, and then I'm saving it. And then yet again, I'm going to go to my downloads and of the text. As you can see, I ended up erasing the original text that was already up here because I just want to use the image. I like this so much better, and it looks a lot better in my opinion. So I'm using the little slider to move the text up and down so there isn't a lot of space. Because if you're noticing, as soon as I upload the image, it makes my banner become a lot bigger. So in order to keep the size of my banner the way that I want it to, I'm taking away any unnecessary space in between my font. What I was noticing here was that on my image on my banner, the shop now was black and it was fading into the image of the woman. So I didn't want that to get in the way. So I ended up duplicating the text of shop now and then creating something white behind it so that it would pop even if it was in front of the woman. So now you can see the shop now looks a lot more pronounced. So even it's on top of her hair, so it's not getting lost in her hair. Like you can actually see it, and it looks a lot better. But again, I was not satisfied with that. So what I ended up doing was going back to Canva once I adjusted it to kind of get my picture back. I'm editing my font, or yeah, I'm editing my font by doing this is my last image and adjusting it. You don't want to adjust it too much or you will chop off some of the letters, but this is what it looks like. So I'm satisfied with that on mobile view. It looks amazing. This is our first banner on Squarespace. This didn't take me a long time, but I wanted to show you guys the whole process of everything. The last thing I'm going to do is make some animations to, I don't know, just add to it. So I'm going to another page on this site, and then I'm going back to my banner just so you can see that little animation. And here is our first banner. So make sure to keep on watching.